You didn't click on this video by accident. There's a reason these words found you today. Because lately, life has felt heavier than usual. You've been smiling in front of people while silently fighting battles nobody knows about. The pressure, the anxiety, the sleepless nights, the uncertainty. And maybe part of you has been asking God the same question over and over again. Why is this happening to me? But hear this carefully. God is saying, this battle is temporary. You are not being buried. You are being prepared. Stay with me until the end of this message, because what God wants you to understand today could completely change the way you see your current situation. Right now, you may feel surrounded by problems. Maybe your finances are collapsing. Maybe your relationship is breaking apart. Maybe your heart is exhausted from carrying pain for too long. Maybe you're fighting a private war inside your own mind. And the hardest part is, you've been praying, you've been trying, you've been holding on. Yet nothing seems to change. But God says, just because you cannot see me working does not mean I have abandoned you. There are seasons where heaven feels silent, not because God left, but because He is doing something deeper than you can currently understand. Think about Joseph. He was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused, forgotten in prison. Imagine how confusing that must have felt. Every chapter of his life looked like defeat. But what Joseph thought was destruction was actually divine direction. Because God was building a king out of a wounded man. And maybe that's exactly what's happening to you right now. The battle you're facing is not your final destination. It is preparation. God says, you are in training, not punishment. Some of the strongest people carry the deepest scars. Because pressure creates endurance. Endurance creates strength. And strength prepares you for the purpose connected to your future. The enemy wants you to believe this season will last forever. That you'll always struggle, always cry, always feel broken. But the devil is a liar. Storms do not stay forever. Night does not last forever. Pain does not stay forever. And this battle will not last forever either. God says, I already appointed an ending to the thing that has been tormenting you. Listen carefully. Sometimes God allows battles because battles reveal things comfort never could. Battles reveal who truly trusts Him. Battles expose hidden strength. Battles destroy pride. Battles deepen faith. And battles often position you for miracles you would have never experienced otherwise. David never would have discovered his authority if Goliath never appeared. The sea split if Pharaoh had not chased him. Daniel never would have witnessed God shut lions' mouths if he had avoided the den. Your current battle may actually be the setup for your greatest testimony. One day, people will hear your story and say, how did you survive that? And your answer will be, God carried me. Right now, your emotions may be exhausted. You may feel mentally drained from pretending you're okay. You may even feel spiritually tired. And God sees that. He sees every silent tear, every hidden fear, every moment you almost gave up. And today He is saying, do not quit in the middle of the battle. Because breakthrough often comes right before people decide to surrender. Somebody listening to this is closer to victory than they realize. But the enemy keeps whispering, nothing will change. God forgot you. You're alone. No doors will open. But God is saying, I am already moving things behind the scenes. While you've been crying, God has been arranging. While you've been waiting, God has been preparing. While you've been doubting, God has still been working. Sometimes God works in silence, because faith grows in silence. If God showed you every detail immediately, faith would not be necessary. But faith means trusting God, even when your eyes cannot yet see the outcome. And maybe that's your battle right now. Trusting while hurting, believing while struggling, holding on while everything feels uncertain. That takes real faith. And heaven honors that kind of faith. God says, I have not forgotten the prayers you cried at night. Some of those prayers came from broken places. Some came from fear. Some from desperation. Some from complete exhaustion. But heaven heard every single one. Not one tear was wasted. Not one prayer was ignored. There are blessings being formed right now that you cannot yet see. Doors opening you cannot yet imagine. Protection happening you don't even realize. Sometimes God delays things because He is protecting you from receiving them too early. A child cannot carry what only maturity can manage. And some of you are in a season where God is strengthening your spirit before releasing your next level. That's why this season feels uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Transformation is uncomfortable. But remaining stuck would be far more painful. Hear this clearly. The battle is temporary, but the reward will be lasting. The pain is temporary, but the wisdom will remain. The storm is temporary, but the person you become after surviving it will be stronger than ever before. One day you will look back at this season and realize God was sustaining you the entire time. Even in moments when you felt weak, you were still surviving. Even in moments when you felt abandoned, God was still guiding you. Even in moments where you thought everything was falling apart, certain things were actually falling into place. That's the mystery of God. Sometimes things must break before they can be rebuilt correctly. Sometimes doors must close before the right one opens. Sometimes isolation is necessary before elevation. And if you've recently lost people, lost opportunities, or lost stability, do not assume your story is over. God often removes distractions before releasing destiny. There are people listening right now who feel emotionally shattered. You've experienced betrayal that changed you. You trusted someone who wounded your heart. And now you struggle to trust anybody, including God. But God says, I can heal the part of you nobody else can reach. Human hands may have hurt you, but God's hands can restore you. And restoration is coming. Not just temporary relief, real restoration. Peace in your mind, strength in your spirit, joy returning to your life. The kind of peace that makes no logical sense. The kind of strength that shocks even you. This is why you cannot give up now. You've survived too much already to quit here. Think about everything God already brought you through. There were moments you thought would destroy you. Moments you cried yourself to sleep. Moments you thought you would never recover from. Yet somehow, you're still here. Still breathing. Still standing. Still fighting. That alone is proof God has been with you. The enemy thought the battle would break you. Instead, it's building you. God says you are becoming stronger than the thing trying to destroy you. Read that again in your spirit. You are becoming stronger than the attack. Stronger than the fear. Stronger than the depression. Stronger than the delay. Because God never wastes pain. Every battle carries a lesson. Every storm carries purpose. Every delay carries hidden preparation. And when the timing is right, everything will suddenly make sense. The closed doors, the waiting, the heartbreak, the confusion. You'll realize God was protecting you from things you were not meant to carry into your future. And when your breakthrough finally arrives, it will arrive with power. The same people who doubted you will witness God lift you. The same season that almost broke you will become the testimony that inspires others. And one day you'll say, if God brought me through that, He can bring me through anything. So today, stop calling yourself defeated. You are not defeated. You are in transition. This is not the end of your story. This is a chapter. And chapters change. God says the battle has an expiration date. Let that settle into your heart. The tears have an expiration date. The confusion has an expiration date. The waiting has an expiration date. The spiritual attack has an expiration date. The waiting has an expiration date. Nothing attacking you now has permission to stay forever. God is bigger than the storm, bigger than the diagnosis, bigger than the betrayal, bigger than the delay, bigger than the fear. Even if you cannot see it yet. So hold on. Pray even when it feels hard. Trust even when it feels uncomfortable. Believe even when emotions tell you otherwise. Because your current battle is temporary, but God's promises are eternal. Before this message ends, I want you to remember one final thing. The enemy attacks hardest when breakthrough is near. So if the pressure has increased lately, if the warfare has intensified, if discouragement keeps hitting your mind, that may be confirmation that something powerful is ahead. Do not surrender now. You are too close. God says, I did not bring you this far to abandon you. Your story will not end in defeat. Your story will end in victory. And someday very soon, you will thank God for not answering your prayers the way you originally wanted. Because His plan was bigger, better, stronger, and permanent. If this message spoke directly to your spirit, take a moment right now and type, "This battle is temporary." And never forget, God is still fighting for you.